This is Business Center. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Now we're going to just sample some of your comments. We had asked you when was the first aquarium discovered, and Dave from Kasarani anasema it is the 90s. I used to go to the homes to get aquariums, so my answer has to be 90s. Okay, alafu kuna Obs wa Cairo anasema show kali bro, so it was discovered wakati maji ilipotea Ukambani. Yes, so Obs wa Cairo, ukoshwa ni hivyo. Yeah, so anyway, we're just going to sample some of the comments. Continue just talking to us. At the end of the show, we are going to sample these comments. Now we move on to innovation. Now the heart of progress. Things cannot forward if they don't change. There are a great many ways this principle can be applied. If you may not think of it as relevant to the aquarium hobby, but if you take a moment to consider it, you'll come to see just how much progress has been made in the aquarium industry and what kind of promise the future holds. Let's look at some of the current technology trends in aquarium hobby. Now, when was the first aquarium discovered? Remember, that is what we are asking you. The energy and efficiency aquarium lighting is the largest consumer of energy when it comes to tank equipment, accounting for roughly 45% of total tank usage. If you're maintaining tropical temperatures in your tank, you also have to take maybe a heater and just require a filter. Heating and filtration need to be on the 24-hour a day for most tanks, while lighting can be turned on and off. Keep in mind, however, that some tanks require more or more intense lighting than others. For example, a fish-only tank might do just fine with a single fluorescent bulb for day illumination, while a plant tank may require high output lighting. Now, the biggest advance in the aquarium lighting technology is LED lighting. A standard fluorescent bulb is usually in the 15 to 40 watt range, while VHO lighting ranges from 75 to 165 watts. That is quite a little bright. Metal halides may go as high as 1,000 watts, and you then have to think about the added cost of running an auxiliary fan and chiller. In the contrast, LED lights consume 80% less electricity and they don't generate heat. Plus, they come in a variety of colors, so you can set up daylight and moonlight systems. Now it is common knowledge within the aquarium hobby that maintaining stable tank parameters is easier in a large tank than a small tank. It stands to reason that slight changes in pH or chemistry will have a greater impact on a tank with a 10-gallon volume than on a tank with a 100-gallon volume. Thanks to new technology, however, the gap is closing, and compact equipment and aquarium systems are becoming more readily available and easier to use. The nano tank trend has been sweeping the aquarium industry lately. Nano aquariums are small, compact aquatic environments that must be maintained with great attention to detail, because even the smallest change could be devastating. Many nano tanks incorporate essential equipment like lighting and filtration into the hood, but additional equipment may be needed as well. Compact aquarium equipment is not just beneficial for nano tanks, however, it is also a great improvement for tanks where you do not want your equipment cluttering up the aesthetics. Automation and smart devices at one time, the most you could do is to automate aquarium functions was to hook your tank lighting to a timer. Automatic timers made it possible to regulate the on and or off cycle of tank lighting, and they could also be rigged to work with automatic feeders. Today, automation technology has taken things to entirely a new level. It is almost to the point where aquariums can be self-sufficient. There are a number of new technologies and aquarium controls that make it easier to automate or control multiple prices of aquarium equipment with a single device. Some of aquarium controllers are temperature controller, thermostat, automatic top-off, pH controller, oxygen monitor, and aquarium monitors, which now can keep an eye on several aspects of water chemistry such as temperature, pH, and ammonia levels. Now, aquaponics systems, though technology different from keeping an aquarium, aquaponics involves keeping fish and using the nutrients from the water to fertilize growing plants. As the fish eat and produce water, the nitrogen-rich water from the tank can be pumped into growing beds from various plants and vegetables. Thanks to the nutrient-rich water, the plants grow quickly, and depending on the type of fish you keep, you can use some of the plants to feed the fish. It is a self-perpetuating system that still requires monitoring and maintenance, but technological advances has made it easier to do than ever. Now, remember our question of the day before we move to now the Agrifacts. Our question of the day was, when was the first aquarium discovered? When was the first aquarium discovered? Now, did you know that the world's smallest aquarium is 30 by 24 and 14 millimeters and contains small baby fish that are replaced as soon as they grow? Now, there's an autopsy after every single death in public aquariums, knowing that most aquariums have a good heart and are trying to rescue and save animals who couldn't hack it in the wild. It's painful when an animal dies to ensure the aquarium is treating the animals to the best of their ability. An autopsy is performed after every death. If a fish was killed by another hostile fish, that's one thing, but other reasons could be due to bacteria and disease, which could affect other fish if the workers aren't careful. Marine life aren't just rescued, they are bred in captivity as well. As most of us think about the fish and wild marine life in aquariums, we tend to assume they were rescued from the wild. Aquariums and zoos are getting a lot of flack these days, so the way they treat and raise their marine life is under a microscope. However, not all animals are rescued. Many aquariums breed their marine life as well for those aquarium workers who collect eggs to make sure that they're thriving. Watching them mature and grow can be a special moment for workers. Now, London Zoo had the first ever publication aquarium, just that in 1853, and even coined the word. Before this, an aquarium was called an underwater vivarium. Question of the day. Remember, our question of the day was, when was aquarium discovered? Now we have Douglas kutoka Kinoo. Kwani it's not discovered. Sijui unataka tukuambia aje, but Douglas from Kinoo anasema kwani it's not discovered. Yeah, and also we have another one. Aquariums are not man-made. He's asking a question. Aquarium are not man-made. You've not said your name, but you've said aquariums are not man-made. Now, aquariums were discovered in 1832. Aquariums were discovered in 1832. Although French-born naturalist Jean Vauxpar invented the first recognizable glass aquarium in 1832, it was in the works of British naturalist Philip Gosse, however, that the term first took on its modern meaning as a vessel in which aquatic animals as well as plants can be held. So Douglas, Obs Wakairo, Dave, Meona, the answer is 1832. That is when aquariums was discovered. Remember to continue sending us your comments. Let's have this conversation, because many people really don't have knowledge on aquarium rearing of fish and what type of fish are supposed to be reared in aquariums. Let us meet next week, same time, same place on Business Center. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Have a great afternoon. Remember, I'll be here at 1 o'clock to give you the day's news at 1.